This my kingdom, nigga, stay back. We had a couple of moments. You had a choice, nigga, on it. Your real colors, they showing. I'm real, nigga, I'm focused. When I come around, I'm fly with it. Stay moving, do buy with it. New sound, just vibe with it. Same truth and we die with it. I see it like it's an optical. I never sit on the fence. Nothing to me is impossible. Music of means to the end. Most of the shit is illogical. All of y'all niggas depend on what they pretend. Just think what you had. Stop looking at trends. You wearing your eyes like it's topical. Clearly now, the pain is gone. The fame is on. And they play my songs. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, I ain't talk is talk. And move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the world. Got things to do. I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said, take a look around you, nigga. Find your way back. Find your way back. Find your way back. I said, take a look around you, nigga. Find your way back. Find your way back. Find your way back. New era, I got y'all. Real gang, we pop off. No knockoffs. Open eyes, we watch out. Mobilize, won't cop out. COVID-19 cops out, don't flop now. Open skies, we fly now. New agenda, they try now. Most y'all getting real scared of the headlines when you find out. End game getting real near. If you don't know, you behind now. Behind the times, government hide behind the lines. Most brands trying to monetize. All of us have to stay inside, don't socialize. Yeah, talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the world. Got things to do. I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said, take a look around you, nigga. Find your way back. Find your way back. Find your way back. I said, take a look around you, nigga. Find your way back. Find your way back. Find your way back.
Swole Norma.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 test, 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 testing, 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 test, 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 testing, 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 testicles, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1446 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What is going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and yo hoes? It's your boy Papa Swole, yo, back with another episode. And now the Instagram story is up. We are here. Swole Text is large and in charge. I'm ready for another episode. How are we doing, beaches? Beaches. I am here for you. I don't know what we got going today. I don't got stories. I didn't get anything. I didn't grab anything from the Swole fam, so I'm here. I'm open to take some questions. I just kind of wanted to do a little Tuesday throwdown. We could talk a little bit about what I dropped today on YouTube. Covered some more nuts on chin. Got more nuts coming for tomorrow. So this episode, we can kind of leave it open to some current events and shit that we got going on. Maybe something will be trending and something's on your mind, because kind of more of the same today. Kind of more of the same. I feel like Tuesday is kind of brought more of the same old bullshit. More of the same old bullshit. I just see the same fucking posts, the same stuff, the same idiots, the same morons, the same jabroni shit all the time. And one of the things, of course, we've been covering here on the podcast, and of course on the Nuts on Chin, the Nuts on Chin episodes on the Swolenormous channel on YouTube, be getting a lot of these posts with the captions. You know, it's always one of these fat positive people that don't want to train, people that don't want to change, people that don't want to take responsibility. They post a picture of themselves it's so outgoing, it's so exposing, it's so hard for them to post a personal picture. It was so hard for them to post a picture of them on Instagram. And you don't have to lose weight. You don't have to exercise. The only thing that you need to pay attention to right now is surviving. Yes, no shit. Honestly, today is no different than any other day. It's no different than 6 months ago. You had to survive then. You had to make sure you didn't get hit by a car 6 months ago. You should have made sure you didn't get the flu and didn't die from the flu 6 months ago. It's just more serious and more severe now. You should take care of your health equally all the time. That's what most people don't understand. Whether it's a pandemic, whether it's just a Tuesday, whether it is 2020 or 2011 or 2025, you should be taking care of your health. And if you're not putting yourself first, if you're not prioritizing yourself, what are you doing? Especially when you have, for example, today's video on YouTube, the Nuts on Chin, was about Nick Dompierre, and had never heard of this person. There's so many people on YouTube. It seems like they come out of the woodwork, or I hear about them like, where the fuck was this? How come this didn't pop up anytime I typed in Mukbangs? I never saw this, but I saw it in the comments a few times, so I checked it out. And the problem is not so much, I mean, it's gross. You're fucking eating and you're binge eating. It's just gross shit. But when someone looks good, when someone has a good body, and of course he was a model and skater, when someone's been taking care of their health pretty much their entire life in terms of being super active, it looks like you can get away with that kind of shit. And it sends the wrong message, especially when someone has coaching programs and is training and posting fitness stuff. Get the fuck out. Like, go in or go out. I dabble with fitness. No, you don't. You're not in any part of the fucking health industry. That's what I hate about the fitness industry and the word industry. It forces association with a bunch of fucking jabronis. A bunch of jabrones. A bunch of jabrones that just wear a little hat now and again. Because you can't, what are you going to sell? What, you can sell donuts online? You could sell a training program. Hey, I could sell a PDF. I could sell a coaching program. Why not? Why not? It's like these 2-bit fucking fitness coaches that are so out of the fitness industry. It's not even funny, but everyone gets associated. All personal trainers get lumped into one giant bag of just shit. So fitness just covers all the dumb shit. When you say you're a personal trainer, everyone and their fucking mother is a fucking personal trainer. Everyone's a personal trainer. It's like bartending. Everyone's a bartender. Oh, I used to bartend in college. Oh, I used to train. Did you? Yeah. See, that's why I'm not down. I'm not down with personal training. I don't like it. I did it for a long time. I don't like it at all. Don't really like it at all. Can't really say I ever did. Hard to say that I ever actually enjoyed it. I did it. I enjoyed fitness. And when you get into fitness, there really aren't that many things that you can do. There's really not, I mean, there are now if you go online, but in person, what else do? You work at the front desk. You're a personal trainer. And that's kind of it. That's kind of it. You do all this education, you have all this personal experience, but unless you're a doctor or you're doing something else, and then you're not even doing fitness, you're doing health and you're working with insurance and medication and prescriptions, there's really nothing in between. It's personal trainer or that. That's it. I mean, talk to me. What do you think? You're a PE teacher? You're a gym teacher? Maybe if your school actually has time for gym, or if they're cutting gym all the fucking time, you might be a PE teacher, but are you? Or are you just playing fucking politics, scraping for hours when the board is just cutting fucking gym hours left and right? I mean, maybe some kids are actually being more healthy now because they're actually moving around more. You know, maybe kids are moving now because they're not in school. Maybe they're outside playing. I keep hearing a lot of reports. Parents are like appalled. Parents are shocked because kids are at home doing online classes and they're shocked that their kid is done after an hour or an hour and a half. Have any of you personally experienced this? I've read articles that parents are really pissed off, and I've seen tweets and shit. They're pissed off because their kid is only doing about an hour of work, because when they go to school, you're pretty much babysitting. It's pretty much babysitting for the other 7 hours. They're really only doing maybe an hour or an hour and a half of actual coursework. I know some schools are different. Some of you are probably teachers. You're like, that's not fucking true at all. I think more often than not, it's probably absolutely true. But of course, if you're in a smaller school or a smaller town, or you're in a private school, things are going to be different. But it seems like a lot of people are shocked, or a lot of parents are shocked at how little schooling your kid's actually doing. I've mentioned this many times. I am totally doing homeschooling. There's no fucking way I would put my child into a system. I understand some parents have to, because who's going to watch their kid? But you're lumping them with, because in most situations, kids are being corralled into just being brainwashed, and they're not amplifying their own personal talents and skills. They're just hanging out, being stuck in a desk in a room, breathing in recirculated air and probably fucking asbestos and shit and all these old schools. And all they're doing is just biding time, trying to do everything under the table and on their phones and stuff to try to not be bored out of their fucking minds. It's a little, it's kind of, I just remember it from, I mean, I didn't have cell phones. Cell phones barely existed when I was in high school. Barely. They existed, but only if you had a lot of money. They weren't that good. When I was in high school, that was around the time where like the StarTACs were those snap flip phones. So it was really early on cell phones. You know, to the point where it was early on, but a lot of people started having them, but they were really, you know, it was just, you weren't texting yet. It was just calls. So we had the internet, we had computers and things like that, but it wasn't so unplugged. You can only do that when you were at home or you went to the computer lab, but people were in school and they went home and then you were on Instant Messenger or AOL and stuff. Anyway, it just seems like parents are shocked that their kids actually not doing that much work. What do you think they're doing? They're not exercising. They're being taught math. They're at recess or they're at lunch and they're at all these different electives and bullshit things. I agree. What are you guys doing? Let's see. Tammy, isn't being healthy actually survival? I think so. It's not just survival, it's thrival. I think what bothers me the most, because I'm still trying to get down to the root of why it bothers me so much too. I know we talk about it a lot, but I think one of the biggest aspects about this that bothers me is that people are happy with doing decent. People are happy with being meh. Your only responsibility in this quarantine is to survive. That's like when someone says, hey, what should I do to maintain in fitness? I don't think you ever should maintain, because if you're trying to maintain, you're going to lose. If you're trying to maintain strength, chances are you're not going to maintain strength. You're going to lose strength. You should always be focusing on some weak point, especially with your training, in order to bring that up. Maybe with your personal career and your skills, you can focus on more specifics. You don't have to necessarily do all the things you're bad at. You could hire someone or do other types of things or have a specific position where your strength is. But when it comes to fitness and health, you don't want to leave anything behind. You don't want to only do barbell stuff and you never do dumbbells or bands or kettlebells or yoga. You want to have a well-rounded physique in terms of making sure you're getting the physical, you're getting the mobility, right? The 7 pillars, you're getting the mental. The physical you don't have to do all the different exercises. You don't have to do everything. Variety isn't the answer to every kind of resistance training. Do bands, do chains, do everything. You don't have to. It depends on what you want, but to have all the other aspects, to have the psychological, to have the physical and what that looks like. But everyone can do mobility. What your mobility looks like is going to be different than someone else. What your training and your resistance is going to look different. Some people love bands and some people don't want to do bands and some people only want to do barbell. Okay, that's your resistance. Do your mobility. Then you kind of individualize there. That's how I look at it. But I think people should focus more on growth and not size, but growth in terms of improving, in terms of challenging, in terms of overcoming and adapting. Yeah, wasn't that gross? Will, I almost couldn't watch that video, watching him eat those fucking pastries and shit. That was just one part of one video. Yeah, it was super cringe. Super cringe, but it's weird. It's weird, those ASMR eating videos. Isn't someone eating one of the most generally disliked sound that someone makes when someone's chewing with their mouth open and slopping in? Isn't that one of just generally the most grotesque things commonly for people? The ASMR thing is really weird. It's weird. People are cutting sand or clay. People are smoothing things out. Gives people this weird pleasure, like, ooh, it's all even now. It's weird. It's a weird genre. That's super popular on YouTube. Hey, if you want to grow a YouTube channel, just do ASMR of like raking leaves or some shit. and you'll be fine. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. How many of you tried the new brain gains? I told you in the accountability meeting yesterday. I told you it was intense. Oh, that's a reminder. Yesterday's accountability meeting is in the private Facebook group. It's pinned to the top, and it'll be up in Swole TV. I have to upload it. I just remembered. I meant to upload it yesterday, but it'll be uploaded. But if you missed it, you can catch it. And I went over all the releases. So for those of you that are not Swole fan members or unlimited members or yoga members, if you're not a member of Swolenormous X, yesterday's podcast is priority access. So if you want to access those private casts when I'm traveling or the accountability meetings, you'll never miss an episode, but you can learn more at swolenormousx.com. But if you go to the podcast, if you go on Apple Podcast or Spotify and you see priority access and it's like, how come this podcast was 3 minutes? It wasn't. It's just for members. So every Monday is for members. So if you're wondering and you come to the channel, the Daily Swole channel, how come there's some numbers missing? Well, on Sundays, we do the Q&A on the Swolenormous channel. And on Mondays, it's for members only. So every single week, you're going to see 2 numbers missing, but we don't miss a fucking day. No, we don't. No, we don't. Cerny says, the new brain gains, you weren't kidding about it being intense. Tears were flowing down my face until near the end. Loved it. Excellent. Get all those emotions out. Get them all out. I'm telling you. Anyway, if you tried the new one, that's Brain Gains 20, number 9. If you tried that, drop that comment below. I'm curious to hear. A couple of you dropped comments on under the actual meditation, on the post. And if you watch it or you listen to it or you download it, make sure you drop a comment on Swolenormous X. Drop a comment below there, below the post. That really helps a lot too, because some people maybe are looking for a certain one or they want to maybe get a little feedback, but it's nice for me to read too. I like knowing which ones you liked the most and what you liked about it. So appreciate it. Thank you, Maureen. You are not fitness papa. You are health for a lifetime. Big difference. That's how I like to look at it. So hashtag Swole fam for today's Swole card. And that's how I like to look at it. I mean, we have the 7 pillars for a reason, is those fundamentals for life, those fundamentals for overall wellness. I didn't sign this one yet. What we got? 1446. So if you're following the 7 pillars and you're focusing on, again, we'll go through them: community, training, nutrition, recovery, mobility, mindfulness, and consistency. The 7 pillars. So if you're covering those pillars, you're getting a lot more. Fitness is just a lot more than just having 6-pack abs. And anytime we see things on Instagram, we see popular people, we see Gymshark models or guys, a lot of it's genetic. They're young, they're 18, 20, 21. They haven't had a lot of time to get fat. It's unless you start really fucking young, you're not fat by the time you're 15 or 16. So you have a lot of these kids that are growing up on Instagram. So they see the visual, they see all the people that are exercising, because fitness is more popular than ever. And to be training in the gym is more popular than ever. Or not training in the gym, just being fit is more popular than ever. But it's funny how, since fitness is more popular, it's because of social media, everything's more popular. You have fitness being more popular, but then you also have this pushback against fitness and about being fat. So again, it brings me full circle. It brings me full circle to, I'm jumping all around here, but it brings me full circle to those posts where people are not taking care of their health, when people are satisfied with doing the average, when people are satisfied with moderation. And when someone is lean and maybe has abs and they eat strict and they do hardcore intermittent fasting and they eat for like 4 hours a day or 3 hours or one meal, and then 2 or 3 or 4 times a week they're eating a box of fucking donuts. Of course you can eat a box of goddamn donuts once or twice a week. You're balancing out all those calories throughout the entire rest of your week or weeks. And if you've been active your entire fucking life and you're a skinny dude, it's going to be one of those things where you don't notice any weight gain. When it balances out and you're using a lot of energy, that's what happens. That's what happens when you are someone who's active their whole life. Again, I could literally order a pizza and eat the fucking pizza. I will be bloated. I will retain water. I probably shit my brains out and have terrible stomach ache, but I'm not going to look tremendously different in a couple days. If anything, it'll be water weight or bloating. I'm not going to put on tons of fat from one pizza pie, but I'm going to feel like fucking shit. My body's going to hate me for it. But that also doesn't mean that I'm being healthy. And that's where these accounts get a lot of, I don't want to say credibility, but they get a lot of traction because you see that juxtaposition. People like it when they're confused. People like to be confused and off guard. When things don't match up, when things just kind of don't click, they don't make sense, it's almost too good to be true, people get really attracted to that. So when you see someone who has abs or has a body that you aspire to have, and they're eating fucking a plate of cheeseburgers and fries, and they have a soda, and it's cheat day, and they're flexing, and they look all ripped and shit. One, a lot of times they're saucing, or two, they haven't fucking eaten in 2 days, and now they're just binge eating, or they just finished a workout, so now they're refueling, and they're going to have a sick pump, or they're dieted down after a show, and they did all these posts around a week period. Now they're spreading them out. There's all these different ideas and these distractions from what actual health and fitness is versus someone who's starving themselves and taking a picture. It's not the same thing. The way you look and your actual health, the habits, the mindset behind it. And that's a real restrictive mindset, to barely eat and then to have a cheat day where you just engorge sugar. It's weird. It's this weird fucking, you want to be fat, you have an eating problem, you have an eating disorder, you have this association with food and with entertainment, and essentially you're restricting yourself in order to jump off a cliff. I think consistency, that seventh pillar, is what's missing from all of that. You're not consistent every day. Your message to yourself, your integrity isn't consistent. You're tricking yourself. You're in denial. There's a lot of aspects. It's like vegan food, vegan hot dogs. You're in denial. Vegan burger. You're in denial. Sorry, you are. You're in denial if you're a vegan and you eat a vegan hot dog. If you eat a vegan burger, if you're eating anything that looks like meat, like a vegan steak, you're in hardcore denial. Eat some real food. If you're going to eat a fucking steak, eat a fucking steak. Eat a fucking hot dog. Don't eat a fake pea hot dog or a tofu dog. You know, it's weird. There's a lot of stuff that the human, like, you can justify. You're making excuses for. Justification and excuses. It's in the same family. It's in the same type of mindset. Just a lot of thoughts at one time. I hope that made sense. A lot of different things. I share your voice because you're definitely the voice of reason when it comes to people funneling shit. There's a lot of that. Here's the thing. How hard is that? How hard is it to make a video like that? How easy is it to have a channel where what you do is eat? You eat on the channel and you try to eat as much as you can. 10,000 calorie challenge. Ooh, could I do this in under 3 minutes? I don't know. Watch and find out. You know, 10,000 calorie cheat day, 15,000 calorie cheat day. And what I said in the video, I said, it's hard to gain weight. I don't think we really talk about this. It's easy to gain weight in terms of laziness, but think of how consistently you have to overeat in order to gain a lot of weight. People that are really obese. Think of how consistently you have to overeat. It's hard in the sense that it takes time. It's not like you overeat in one day. So it might seem extreme to be like, oh, you shouldn't binge eat ever, because you're not going to overeat and eat a buffet and gain all this weight in one day. You're not going to. You're not going to gain 20 pounds in a week. Well, you might, but I guess you could, but you're not going to gain 20 pounds in a day. You have to make this a consistent habit. It's consistent overeating. It's consistent overconsumption. These are habits. Why do you think the fitness industry or training, getting results, why do you think this frustrates people so much? Because it's not overnight. Whether you want to build muscle, whether you want to lose fat, whatever you want to do with your body, strength, endurance. You all remember when you first started trying to work on your cardio, you went for a run or a walk, or you got on the treadmill your first day and you did too much and you can't just adapt to running a marathon because you felt like it in the moment. I want to be able to run a mile easier. Well, you're going to have to practice, because one day you're still going to feel like shit the next day too, and the next time you try it. You can adapt fast. You can adapt quickly. Everyone's different. You could also overload your body too much and get hurt, but people expect really fast results, and it will never happen. So to lose weight, to achieve a body, to build muscle, to gain a lot of body fat, to become a fat fuck, it takes a lot of time. I've never seen anyone say, oh, I gained 50 pounds overnight. You might have gained 50 pounds over the course of 10 years or 6 years or a year. It's totally possible, but you didn't do it in a day. It's something that was a result of your consistent, quote unquote, effort, your consistent coats of paint, your habits. What you're doing every day is what the outcome is going to be. And your body is your resume. Your health is your resume. There are no guarantees. You could try to do the best stuff for your body, But then maybe genetics, you had predisposition to certain issues. Doesn't mean you're never going to get a disease. Doesn't mean you're never going to get cancer. Doesn't mean you're never going to get anything. Maybe you did everything to the best of your ability, but you lived under power lines your whole life, and then you got cancer. And it's like, oh my God, but I took such good care of my health. There are a lot of factors. There are a lot of things different in our world that are out of our control potentially that are not good for our bodies. So we have to do the best we can. And then it brings us back to the original conclusion is it's your responsibility. And if you don't take responsibility, you don't have to do anything. It's not my responsibility because all those channels, you can make the easy argument. It's a valid argument. You could have these people that are eating and doing the mukbangs, but they're not forcing anyone else to do it too, are they? How can you force someone else to do a mukbang? How can you force someone else to be unhealthy? Just because I say, go work out, doesn't mean you're going to. What if I say, everyone that follows me, stop working out. Don't work out anymore. If you're like, well, that's stupid, and you keep on working out. Okay. So I'm not saying that they're causing people to eat more. They're causing people to be unhealthy. But it perpetuates this idea in the culture of fitness and exercise that is just one droplet, one grain of sand in a fucking, just a beach that's covered in fucking sewage. It's just a toxic fucking cesspool of bullshit. So these are just little pieces that just are ingrained in people's minds. We still associate hardcore, if I want to lose weight, how much cardio should I do? That's still closely associated with cardio having anything to fucking do with it. Everyone's so worried about macros. Just think how long it takes for mindset to shift on certain principles. A lot of people still don't do yoga. They would never do yoga. They've never even thought about it. Most people don't meditate. They've never even thought about it. A lot of this stuff just isn't even, it's all superficial. It's all numbers. And I mentioned that in today's YouTube video. Fitness industry, think about it. Everything is numbers. It's weight gain, it's weight lost, it's strength, how much pounds, how much weight, how much you lift, how much you bench. It's, how many reps, it's how many sets, it's how many rounds, it's all number, calories in, calories out, macro ratios, percentages. I think that's completely the wrong approach. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean you can't count those things. It doesn't mean that, I have macros. I don't know what they are, but I have them. So if I calculated them, if I actually wrote down everything that I ate literally and I did math, I could figure out my macros. I just don't care. I don't care what the macros are. I don't think anyone needs to care. I really don't think anyone needs to care. I don't think that's the problem because everyone's been doing the numbers for a long time. Ever since I was younger, growing in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, starting to work out, getting into shape. It's always been about the numbers. How many calories? It's always been about percentages. It's always been about macros, how many grams of protein. It's always been about the numbers. And yeah, those things matter. But when you're fundamentally focused on eating the right foods, you tend to eat the foods that you need to eat. And this is not intuitive fucking eating. This is focusing on how you feel and how foods help you perform. I know from personal experience that my body prefers grass-fed beef over fish and over chicken. My body feels that when I eat white rice, I don't get the same effect as when I have a sweet potato. I notice that. I can eat white rice. I can digest that. My body doesn't feel gross from it, but I don't feel any benefit from it. When I have a sweet potato, my body's like, oh, we're getting it. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, we're doing it. Like that is a carbohydrate that I feel actually gets into my fucking muscles. Like I feel pumped. I feel great. I feel good when I have that. So you learn what foods work best for your body and then you eat sufficiently. And of course you can eat more, eat less and gain weight or lose weight, but it doesn't have to be weighed and measured. I don't think that's a natural approach. I don't think it's healthy to weigh. I don't think it's healthy to measure. I don't think it's healthy to step on the scale all the time. I just think if you look at fitness and training, and if you notice in the 7 pillars, there's no number. There's no number for anything. It doesn't say how many people you should spend time with. It doesn't say what your macros should be. It doesn't say how many reps you should do. All right. You know, in pillar number 4, recovery doesn't say how many hours you should sleep. Yoga doesn't say how, or mobility doesn't say how many days a week you should do mobility. Meditation, it doesn't say you should meditate every day. Consistency means you should do all of it every fucking day. That's what it means. So does it matter so much the details? But if you do it regularly, you build the skills, and then you know what to do. You need reps. You need experience. You need habits. The more you train, the more you eat properly, the more you will notice which foods your body works best with. You could do an elimination diet, all those things we do in Swole Enormous X, but just by focusing and paying attention and doing it, you get better. The more you lift, the more you learn, the more you invest in your lifting and your training, the better you'll get at training, the better you'll get at nutrition. It's all a practice. If you build habits and you practice habits, there you go. You get results. You get results if you expose yourself, but you have to give yourself the opportunity to do it. The more podcasts I do, the better the podcast gets in terms of the video, in terms of the sound, in terms of the production, in terms of it wouldn't be as good if I did it once a week. I've learned, I've said what I had to say. We've answered questions. The more I answer certain questions, the better I get at answering certain questions. The more I hear, the more you do, the more you see it. You know, the more questions I receive from all of you, the more I see, okay, what's really the problem? What's really the issue? I actually listen to the questions, but I think about the questions. And when you ask me a question, and all the thousands and thousands and thousands of questions that I answered on all platforms, what I learn is, why is that question being asked? That's what I look at. That's what I think about. Why is that question being asked? What is the real problem that is leading to that question being asked? And that's where the 7 pillars come from. And that's where all this content, because I'm thinking about why the question's actually being asked in the first place. And what would solve the problem that would lead to that question even needing to be asked. And that's why with the 7 pillars, like what comes before that? What goes below that? Nothing. That's just the fundamental. That's as foundational as it gets. They're infallible. You can't argue them. It's like, you should do these things. Everything's built upon that. That's how you should be thinking about shit. What foundation are you setting for yourself? Because all the thoughts and all your interpretations of fitness and food stem from your foundational beliefs. And if you think that, it's all about the numbers and macros, then you're going to eat whatever the fuck you want. You're going to have inflammation. You're going to have sluggishness. You're going to have those stubborn belly fat. You're going to have maybe poor lifts or poor strength increases. Your brain's going to be scattered. You might have more stress, more anxiety, more cortisol, all these different things because you're focusing on the wrong shit. But if you go, okay, what foods are best for my body? Well, then you get rid of all those issues from inflammation and from distraction or crashing or psychological distress or cortisol. You get rid of those issues to begin with. You don't have that stubborn belly fat. You don't have that joint pain. You don't have that bloating. You don't have those migraines or that fatigue. You don't have that issue for overeating because you're not crashing. You're sleeping well, so you're not having those glucose cravings at night. You see what I'm saying? You get to the fucking source. And then you don't have those same questions. How do I get rid of that belly fat at the bottom? It's really stubborn. Well, you don't have to worry about that shit if you fucking took care of the problem to begin with. Ryan, your question's been up for a minute. My friend still gives me shit for not doing hours of cardio. He can't believe I'm losing weight without hours of cardio. Jabroni. 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 Isn't that nice for once? Isn't it nice, Gina? It's nice. Because Papa treats us like fucking adults who make our own decisions, empowering us rather than dictating to us. I don't like it when trainers or online coaches give out diet plans. I hate that shit. Eat 4 ounces of turkey. Have half a cup of rice. That's so fucking weird. How do you know what I should be eating? You don't know what that person preferences. You don't know what those person's sensitivities are. You don't know what helps that person perform better. What if the food actually gives them nightmares? I'm sure some of you have had foods. There are certain foods out there that you might have where you have really shitty sleep and you have fucking crazy ass dreams. That's not a good food for you. That's not something your body likes. It's telling you. It's telling you. Here's something interesting. I don't know if it's related and I don't remember the details of it. I don't remember all the details. I forget, but it was something, I had some fucking, I don't want to say it was a nightmare, but it was definitely super fucking stressful. I don't know if it was like an alien invasion. It was something crazy. And guess what I had for the first time in a while? I haven't had vegetables in a minute. We had asparagus. Had a lot of asparagus. I love asparagus. Tastes good. I love it. I don't have it all the time, but was it related? I don't know, but it was the only thing that was different. It was the only thing that was different in what I consumed. Crazy dream. And I don't really remember the details, but crazy. I remember waking up and knowing it was a dream, but like, fuck, trying to sleep, and I was tossing and turning a little bit. Didn't watch anything crazy. I wasn't fucking my eyes with like an alien horror movie or something at night. Watched some Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but that's it. Nothing horrible about that. Best show ever. Anyway. But I'm sure a lot of you have had that too. You have terrible sleep, or you have crazy dreams or something when you have certain foods and you notice that. I'm like, oh God. Let's see here. Oh, what we got here? I just saw a comment. D2H. I talked to that Caroline Dooner lady. She said that you didn't read the book. It's for people with eating disorders. I said overeating and binging is an eating disorder as well. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of different. That's the thing. When you have. Here's the thing with eating disorders, and this is not to break down eating disorders. I'm not an eating disorder expert in that sense. I'm not a psychologist and all those. Just run all those disclaimers through your brain. This is just what I observe. When it comes to when you have something, or here's what the fat acceptance, health at every size, here's what that body positivity, here's where that group is kind of hijacking the term eating disorder. Kind of like culture is hijacking itself. And you can tell me your opinions on this, because this is just something I've been thinking about. When you have a title of something like an eating disorder, it's like when you use a blanket term like, oh, I have ADD or OCD. Everyone just throws that around. You know, it's not a disorder unless it's interfering with your, it has to really get in your fucking way. If you like your desk straight and neat, that's not OCD. That's you liking to be neat. You don't call that fucking OCD. If you have an absolute compulsion where you can't fucking move on to the next step, it is interfering with your life. It is stressing you out. It is taking time out of your day. It's damaging relationships. It's fucking, that's OCD. You know, that's ADD. When you, just to say that, because then you put yourself in this victim mentality. You have something. It's not your fault. You can't change it. You have ADD. You have OCD. You have an eating disorder. But that's such a blanket term. That's such a blanket term. It's like saying, oh, I hate that movie. Do you hate it, or do you just not prefer it? Do you just dislike it? Oh my God, this is such a problem. Oh my God, fucking problems. I have 99 problems. Do you have 99 problems, or do you have some inconveniences and then you have a couple issues or a couple situations, a couple challenges, and then a couple inconveniences? So we get dramatic. So if you say it's an eating disorder, you could use that term in any different way. There are a lot of things that are not really attributed to eating disorder. You can have an eating disorder, but it's not an eating disorder. There's like different ways to say it. It's like saying fuck in a different way. It's like fuck, and screaming. You can just, it's the tone. I think a lot of these people online, not only do they maybe they have an eating disorder, maybe they don't, but it's also a disordered way of eating. It's not a conscientious form of eating. It's not a respectful way of eating for your body. Is it an eating disorder? I mean, you could make that argument. That's a very technical term. That's a medical term. So I'm certainly, I use it liberally too, but we all do. It just seems like when you can blanket term and you can put anything under that category, you can just say all sorts of shit. but it gets interpreted in all sorts of different ways. It's this kind of like weird stretching of words and making it fit your narrative, how you want to say it, how you want to use it. You know, fat acceptance. What does fat acceptance mean? Really? Like, what does fat acceptance mean? Fat acceptance is just low self-esteem. Body positivity, it's more low self-esteem. You're changing the name, you're making it a positive. It's really, you want to feel better about yourself. Okay. You don't need to be part of a group to do that. You have low self-esteem because you're fat. We don't need to accept being fat. We don't need to lie to ourselves. You can just admit that you have low self-esteem and we can work on you feeling better about yourself. Yeah? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? That's called personal responsibility. That's called, realizing that how I view myself and how I've taken care of my body is my fault. I should do better. No, wait. You should stop being mean to me. You should stop calling me fat, even though I am fat. And because that could be an opinion, and that's not necessarily a nice word to say to someone's face. So let's say you call someone obese. That's a medical term. Let's say they're obviously 100 pounds overweight. Someone saying that you're 100 pounds overweight shouldn't make you angry at them. They might be stating a fact. You knowing that you're 100 pounds overweight and not wanting to change and not willing to take responsibility for you being 100 pounds overweight, everyone else has to change so you don't get your feelings hurt. And that's fucking weird, because then you're affecting what people can say and how people can say it. And obviously we've seen that with my YouTube channel, my videos, and videos getting blocked based on the titles that are being used in the subject matter. It's not highly regarded on YouTube. YouTube doesn't want to talk about and show stuff about fat acceptance. They're not trying to instigate that side. But then you have all those movements with obesity being tied in and being mixed in, like Jamila Jamil. She has like the LGBT and the fucking rainbow, but then she's body positive and she's fucking skinny, but she used to be fat. She used to be you start doing the intersectionality, and you start combining all these different groups, and then it just gets so jumbled up, the actual message gets lost, and it becomes this fucking, bowl of just nonsense. And then you realize when you look at it, it's like you're completely wrong. It's not good to trash your body. It should never be good to trash your body. You possibly are a good example of that. Not only do I know you are all adults, you're a grown ass fucking man or woman. You're a grown ass man or woman. You should know that it is as simple as not putting the food in your mouth. It is as simple as not eating it. It's as simple as not eating the garbage food. Yes, there are triggers. Yes, there's emotional this. It's simple, I should say. It's very black and white. You make better food choices. Yeah, but how do I not eat at night? You don't eat at night. Now, that's very black and white. And of course, that doesn't help most people. How do I stop having cravings at night? Or how do I stop eating at night? You don't eat at night. But is it more complicated than that? That's the fact. You did or you didn't. You ate or you didn't eat. You ate garbage food or you ate good food. It's literally that simple. However, we all know that if it was that simple, if people could actually do it, people just don't have the support systems around them. They don't have a good community. They have a lot of pushers, a lot of enablers. We see that with Amber Lynn and all these other, overweight, really disgustingly unhealthy people online that are being encouraged by their fans, that are being encouraged by people around them to continue making content, binge eating, and not take care of themselves. We have TV shows. We have like My 600 Pound Life. We just have people that are able to have so much excess, to have so much excess that they're able to get to be that big. So obviously it's not that simple in terms of, or that easy, I should say, in most situations, because you have that addiction built in. And once you build that addiction, once you build that those habits and those poor habits is hard to break. Really, really hard to break those habits. That's why it's really important to not have that to begin with and to take care of it. But a lot of it is surrounding yourself with better people and making better choices. And of course, when you have the 7 pillars and you're linking them all together and each one is supporting the other, you're covering all those other aspects. It's much easier to stay focused. That's what you would think. That's what you think. If you're truly happy with how you are, no one's comments would bring you down. If you were truly happy, you were truly positive, would you need a whole movement? Would you need to make it a big fucking deal? Would you need to shout from the rooftops, accept this, accept this? Psh, fucking weird. No, you wouldn't. Let's see. DD. I've definitely participated in disordered eating, but I wasn't diagnosed with an eating disorder. Should I have been? Probably. Taking speed, eating fewer than 300 calories, and running 3 miles every day was not normal. Thankfully, I, quote, cured myself. Well, so I'm assuming you're saying this from the aspect of you weren't, I'm assuming just from what you wrote that you were saying because you weren't technically diagnosed with an eating disorder doesn't mean you didn't have one. And you fixed yourself by changing your habits. So because like it wasn't technical, but obviously it was kind of thing, which makes sense. In other words, if just because you put a name on it doesn't change what it is. That's how I was meaning the whole conversation earlier, and what probably prompted that post. It's just, just putting a title on it doesn't change what's going on. Calling it a mukbang doesn't change that you're stuffing your fucking face and it's disgusting. You can give it whatever fucking name you want. It's not, social eating, a mukbang. We have all these foods. It's you in a room stuffing your face on camera for ad revenue. That's what it is. Let's call it what it is. What am I doing? I am putting nuts on chin for attention, for the views. That's what I'm doing. So if you're going to keep on posting videos of you fucking eating garbage food, I'm going to keep on putting sack on chins, making fun of you for it. Gives me pleasure. And it's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. It's very serious, and I don't fucking like it, but I don't necessarily hate the people that are making the videos. I don't hate them. I don't hang out with them. I don't know them as an individual. I don't know them personally, but I know their message, and I know what people are viewing, and I know what it's doing to this country. So it's the point. It's the intent of the content and the message it sends that pisses me off. That's what I sack. They are just the bringer of bullshit. And I'm just the messenger. I'm just the one dropping the sack. You all think it, though. Chantal Marie or Foodie Beauty? Who's this? Who dis? Who dis? Who dat? Put her on your nuts list. What we got? We got some new nuts. Who's that? Is that an Instagram person or a YouTube person? Is that the same person? Or are these two different people? Name sounds familiar. I think I've seen that pop up before. Hashtag Swole fam, by the way. Sorry, let me just drop that again. Hashtag Swole fam if you want to win today's Swole card. Aaron, growing up in the 80s and 90s, I can hardly remember anyone being morbidly obese. Well, they were there. They were there, probably more in the Midwest, more like in Mississippi and Missouri and stuff. I would assume. That was always the classic, wasn't it? Wasn't that always the classic Midwest? You go out there and you see like big people that, there's not many places to go. They're sitting around drinking, just eating big, right? Texas, you got big. A lot of people were big in Texas, but now it's just everywhere. Now it's everywhere. It's every city. People are obese everywhere. It used to be a stereotype where you go in the Midwest and people are overweight. Now it's just fucking everywhere. Ronald Riggs. Good name. We have all been awakened by binge eating or fetish eating at some point in our lives, but to give into these segues for a lifetime, then scream, look at me, I'm fat, I'm beautiful, and I'm loving life, as their hearts are ticking time bombs. After that, they can say, I can't understand how that happened. Yeah, they all say, how did I have a heart attack? Oh my God, how'd this happen? You stuffed your face for 40 years. That's how you did it. That's how you did it. You ate, and you ate, and you ate, and you ate, and you ate. Let's see here. Same person, she's a YouTuber. Think Amber Reed 2.0? You don't say. You don't say. Foodie Beauty is disgusting. Her YouTube channel gets reacted to all the time. Oh, really? Oh, really? I have a plan for a video tomorrow. Maybe we'll go to it next. Lindo Bacon. What is that? It sounds made up. Is that a food? Is that like a type of bacon? It's like Canadian bacon? Lindo Bacon. Is that like nice bacon? Que lindo bacon. Come on, I'm in Florida. That sounds like nice bacon. It sounds like nice bacon. Lindo bacon. Ay, bacon, que lindo. The noise she makes when eating. Oh, no. Lindo bacon. Sounds like whatever that is. Chantal Marie is an obese woman and does mukbangs like Amber Lynn. Done. Done. Sounds right up my alley. I'm ready. I'm ready for the big time. Ready for the big time. She's ready for some sack. Swole card for Auriga. What's going on? Are we donating a card? Not we're donating, but is the Swole fam voting for a card? I just saw a couple posts. I'm catching up on some shit. Oh my God. I was just sent a picture of the Chantal person. Hold on a second. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, these thumbnails are atrocious. Oh, man. I'm going to have to bring a huge sack for that one. Hey. Oh. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. It's like making fun of homeless people or something. God, how can you fucking do that to your body when you're that huge? How can you be that obese and stuff your face like that? Don't you know you die? People die. Just fucking die. Let's see. Stephanie, what kills me is all the restaurants that have these massive food challenges. You mean, well, they've had that for a long time. You get popular. You have a local food challenge that brings in people. You have pictures on the wall. They've always had that. Are there anything more? Is it more now because restaurants are struggling for business, so they're trying to create food challenges online? Is that something else that's happening? Don't waste my time. She needs professional help. Sure. So what? So what? Waste my time. Where's my time better spent on YouTube? Come on, tell me. Tell me, what else are we going to do on YouTube? What else are we going to do? We do all the training stuff inside X. We do all the training. Like, what else am I going to talk about on YouTube? It's perfect. Doesn't waste my time. Put some sack, brings in some views, gets more attention, more exposure. Maybe a few people get helped. Some people laugh. It's good stuff. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun to drop sack. It's fun to make these videos. Not to mention, it's a good message, and it's disgusting. Stop doing it. Stop killing yourself. A female Nico Cotto. Let's see. All right. Anyway, let's see. Hey, Papa, I've been doing well with my training and my nutrition. Been making better time on faster runs. This morning, I didn't reach my goal for a tempo run. That was humbling, but I will not quit. Good for you. Good for you. I just talked like about Lindo Bacon. No, I didn't. I don't think so. If I did, I don't remember. It was that memorable. I did not. Unless it was someone else's name. Linda Bacon? Or maybe I showed a post or something and I didn't say the name. I generally know what I say. Actually, sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Oh, it's her birthday. Auriga. Ooh, very nice. So if you want Auriga, it's her birthday. You're turning 40. So what? And so what? That's great. Who cares? Everyone's going to turn 40. So what? I'm not dying. 40 is not old. Why do people still think, why do we still have that idea? 40. I'm 36. I'm going to be yoked like it ain't no fucking joke when I'm 40. I'm going to be in better shape when I'm 40 than I am now. I got 3 more years of training. Fuck yeah. 3 in like a couple. Fuck yeah. I'm going to be fucking yoked. I'm not going to look any different. Just going to be fucking, yeah. Wait till I turn gray. I will. My grandfather had all gray beard, all gray hair. I'm going to be oh yeah. Swole card for Auriga. I think everyone's, all right. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Give it to her. Give it to her. Come on, Auriga. Fine. You got it. You got it.
Congratulations!
The Swole fam. The Swole fam was clamoring. Happy birthday. I agree. Send us that email to support@SwoleNorm. Give away the Swole card early. I'll tell you what, we'll do a water break in a little bit. That way you can have it. So congratulations. The Swole fam votes via the Swole fam for the Swole fam. There you go. All right. Swole fam, you get the card. Congratulations. Congratulations. You got yourself a Swole card, motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So congratulations. Fantastic. So send us that email. Greg Benda, if we have questions, you got any questions before we wrap up here, you can ask now. We talked a lot about fat acceptance and obesity and mukbangs. But if you got any questions, you could drop them. And of course, we'll be back here tomorrow. How have you been enjoying? Have you guys done any of the new Swollen 7s? Have you done the new Brain Gains, number 9? Have you done any of the new yoga classes? What have you done with the new releases that dropped yesterday? Greg Benda, I hate that being fat and eating a lot has become a thing people watch. Some people envy it, but they don't get to see the pain that people have when they turn the camera off. Yo, that's true as hell. Just think, when you're watching the video with all the edits and the music and the zoom in and the pans and the music overlay, these people are eating, throw away, they sit in front of their computer and they edit. And yeah. God, I mean, how many of these people eat and then go and puke in the toilet? I mean, they wouldn't tell you that. How many of these girls that don't look overweight, how many of them eat and then just barf it up? What do you think about that? Like how many, right? How many of them refund? That's fucking scary because it's probably a lot of them, especially if you're overweight. If the big ones, probably not so much because they're obviously keeping it in. But oh. Because you don't know what happens when the camera goes off. But that was the point. That's why that's why you posted that. Swollen 7 mobility has been a life changer for me. Excellent. Fantastic. Did the Swollen 7 core after my other workout. Love it. Very glad. Thank you. New Yoga Express is killer for the shoulders. Excellent. That could be. They say, okay, I'm done, then binge more off camera. True. Binge and purge, isn't that a real medical condition? Yeah. Yeah. And there's all those different categories and subcategories. It's bulimic, yeah, bulimia. Lindo bacon. It sounds made up. Did that person? Oh, is that the person that I think someone mentioned that changed her name? Was it Linda and she made it Lindo? Is that like to make some kind of statement like, hey, I have an O. Are you going to assume that I'm a man? Probably. Just going to assume you have a weird name that sounds made up. It's amazing how much difference a vowel makes. A to O, Lindo. It's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. Excellent. You're welcome. More to come for sure. Oh, my neck. Oh. And I'm not pushing my neck, by the way. I'm just like holding my chin, but I just tilt my neck. Oh, oh good. Oh, good. Feel good now. Whew. Linda into Lindo because she's now... he is now... Yeah, all right, whatever. That's a whole other condition for another day. Everyone's confused. No one knows. Every dude on TikTok looks confused. With a little poofy hair and little dangling earrings. I don't think anyone knows what they are anymore. It's probably the sugar. It's probably the Lucky Charms that's making people become trans. It's like coercing people. The people that are trans, and it's just confusing kids. The chemicals are getting into people's brains and no one knows what they are anymore. I don't know who I am. Anyway, accepting people for who they are is no problem. But when you demand people change how they talk, that's a fucking problem. When people get ostracized for stating facts, that's a fucking problem. Compelled speech is a fucking problem. Magically delicious. Good for you. Good for you. Go get your pump on, fam. Go get your pump on. It's the Lucky Charms. The end of the rainbow. You didn't expect to find that at the end of the rainbow, did you? Did you? You didn't expect to find that at the end of the rainbow. You thought you were getting a pot of gold and you got a fucking... You thought you were getting a pot of gold and then what you did is a fucking guillotine for your dick. Oh my God, the rainbow. Taste the rainbow. That's too funny. I have such a fucking visual. That is fucking funny. They thought they were getting a pot of gold. What they did was more they could ever bargain for. Pot of gold. Don't taste the rainbow, kids. It's like, how can we make a cereal that sounds like LSD? How could we creep kids out? How could we just lie, deceive kids, pump them full of sugar? We'll do a Lucky Charms, little leprechaun. You go to the edge of her fucking rainbow. You have all these little marshmallow sugar bombs. Fucking weird shit. A pot of gold sack. All right, let's do a little bit of I need some water. We need some water. Water break. Drop some eggplants and some water droplets in the comments. What a good episode. That's some good shit. Some good fucking shit. Some good sack. I need to go drop some sack, so we'll be right back. We'll be right back for some more sack. Let's get this, let's get the water going. Come on, kitty. Let's get some kitty going. I know. Yes, well, step up to the fucking plate. Come on, kitty. Come on, kitty. Come on, kitty. Chill. The fuck out. Christ. Jesus. Greg, why do all cereal characters get beat by kids for wanting to taste their own cereal? It's probably some kind of like child molestation thing. It's probably like some It's like Disney back in the day doing all these little flashes of like Bugs Bunny's dick or, stuff like that. Yeah, it's probably all these little things that started, as a joke by the cartoonists back in the day. Like, two guys that are designing it, they're like, yo, what should you do this? Yeah, let's do it this way. And they're laughing. And like today they're still on the phone like, dude, look, I saw Lucky Charms taking like screenshots on their phone. Like, look, remember? And everyone's like, yeah, look, everyone's drinking, like eating LSD, child molester shit. That's probably what really happened with most of these things. You get guys laughing or, people laughing, creating these things with like inside jokes, and then it becomes popular. The candy Skittles has 2 mottos on the bag. The first being taste the rainbow, that everyone knows, but the other is fun in the mouth. Whoa, 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 whoa. Fun in the mouth. Interesting. Ah. Are you going to do some videos on using Hammer of the Gods? Oh, the Thor hammer? Yeah, eventually. Eventually. It's hard to get some good angles where I am. I'm not going to do it in the room here. I'll break my shit. Yeah, sure. I mean, with more of the kettlebell stuff, that's more, that maybe some stuff on like Instagram. That's more fringe. Not everyone has clubs and stuff like that. But, I'll do some stuff like what you can do with it. It's heavy as fuck, especially if you start swinging it, 25 pounds. But I've been meaning for a while to do some content with that. Ren and Stimpy's the best. My favorite cartoons of all time. All right, water break. Here we go. Let's get that kitty going. Come on. Yes, now you're going to be nice. All right, 3, 2, 1. Water break time. Dance kitty. Oh, there you go. Yeah, see? Wasn't so bad after all. Christ. Bitch. Oh, I did it. I did it. Ooh, down the hatch. I'm getting better. Ooh, we'll change the podcast. Papa Swolio swallows. Papa swallows. Papa Swallio. Oh, okay, kitty. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, kitty. Goodbye. Yes. Yes. You stay. Yes. 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 Good water break. Super hydrated. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling today? Oh, it's delicious. Well, thank you, fam. Thank you, everyone, for joining me and joining us and joining the Swole fam for episode 1446 of the Daily Sleaze, the most muscular sleaze cast, swole cast, gain cast, man cast, pimp cast, nut cast, fucking kitty cast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. And go drink some more water, go get a pump on, go meditate, go try one of the new workouts. It's all in the updates tab on swolenormousx.com. And of course, go to swolenormousx.com if you're interested in joining the fam. You can get started for less than $3, swolenormousx.com, and stay tuned for some more nuts on your chin tomorrow. So stay tuned. All right, and go and like and comment and go check out today's video on the Swolenormous channel. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Yeah, boy. I'm Papa Swolio. Out. Yaboosh.